coming for you.
I got bitches all on my dick and every day, sucking on my balls, licking on my balls. Bitches.
Post your most embarrassing video in your phone.
I'm here to fuck your wife. Who the fuck is you talking to? Man, fuck you, grandmother. Stupid motherfucker, you gotta watch your motherfucking mouth. I don't give a fuck who you is. Just little fuck.
Oh my fucking god, I cannot believe that I just fucking did that. I have never left the beach so fast in my fucking life. I am so embarrassed. So tell me how the fuck people were kite surfing at the beach and my dumbass didn't realize that they were kite surfing, and I'm laying in the water like a fat whale, and while I'm laying there minding my business, all of a sudden I see this huge shadow and I think it's a shark. So I start screaming at the top of my lungs that there's a shark in the water, and I literally run out of the water screaming, and people start running with me, and then when we all leave the fucking water, it was the shadow. Oh my god, I have never, bitch, I need to get back to my apartment, bitch. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That did not just happen to me. Bitch, they were looking at me like I was lost. Oh my god. One lady said, are you stupid, bitch? Obviously. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Brian, you did not just do that. That is so fucking embarrassing. Oh my god, I have never been so fucking embarrassed in my whole life. Bitch, I really thought that it was a shark. Bye, I have to go.
My boyfriend took a video of me sleeping, and now I will never be sleeping ever again.
I got my little homie right here. I got my young nigga right here. Get what, dude? And we all tryna fuck. Me and my nigga, yeah, we tryna fuck. Me and my niggas, yeah, we tryna fuck. Me and my niggas, yeah, we tryna fuck. We tryna fuck. We tryna.
If you thought that I just let this go, I see red, red.
I've never met anyone who could beat my most embarrassing moment story, so I'm gonna tell it to you. So I just started dating this guy, we're like 2 weeks in. I have Crohn's disease, so I have a colostomy bag. And if you don't know what that is, it's a bag that's connected to the outside of your body that your intestines empty into. So it's a bag that fills with poop. It's a poop bag. So he wanted me to sleep over like a bunch of times, and I was like, nah, no thanks, like I have a poop bag. And finally one night I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'm tired, I don't feel like going home. So I slept over, and at like 1 or 2 in the morning, I wake up and my whole body is soaking wet. And I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? And I like rip the covers off of me, and I am covered in poop. My poop bag exploded in this man's bed. I essentially shat his bed, and I had to wake him up and be like, hey yo, I pooped your bed, you have to take me home, because I didn't have ostomy supplies. Anyway, that was 8 years ago. We're married now. This is our wedding day.
What is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Busting my ass on this skate floor.
When I was at school, right, and we was in music, and we was sitting there, we just got in the classroom, right, and I had farted so loud. I'm dead! Did anybody know it was you, though? Yeah!
Oh. So you played in a movie called The Hunger Games.
Yeah, isn't that your life story?
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
You shouldn't say that. That's off-putting.
You should be off-putting. You're fat.
What's a story that was embarrassing at the time, but it's funny now? I'll begin. So it was about 2016. I was driving a 2000 Honda Civic. Coworker texts me, hey, can you pick me up? Sure, no problem, whatever. I pick her up. My car was acting very strange. I had just had my alternator changed. It was still acting very weird. I didn't think anything of it. I needed to go to work, whatever. So we had a couple minutes to kill, so we decided to go through the drive-thru. We're in the Timmy's drive-thru ordering. The lady goes, is there anything else I can get you? It was like, when she said that, she cursed my car. My car breaks down, people. It's like 6:30 in the morning. There's like 20 cars behind me. The light-up's backed up on the street. I'm like, oh my god, I need a tow truck. She's like, what? I'm like, my car just broke down in the drive-thru. I need a tow truck. I'm like, I'm serious. This is not a joke. My car is broken down. She's like, okay, 1 second. Me and my coworker are sitting there howling of embarrassment. Within 5 minutes, all the male coworkers come out of the Tim Hortons, get behind my car and push me. As they're pushing me, they're like, you want to stop at the window?
This is the most embarrassing video I ever seen in my life.
In middle school, I never really had my balls drop, so let's just say getting a girlfriend wasn't really an option. The most God gave me when it came to puberty was a pubic stash that ended up being woman repellent. Anyways, I remember there was this one girl in our class I had a serious crush on. Like, she was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I was so obsessed with her. I remember that I had my locker beside her. We sat beside each other in class. Hell, I remember even writing about her in my diary journal. It's actually a journal. One day in class, I remember my teacher was saying how there was going to be a spring dance coming up. In my head, I was thinking about how badly I wanted to ask this girl out. If you want to hear the rest of this, like for part 2.
Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby.
There is nothing worse than something going wrong in a special lovemaking ritual that we all do. Especially when that story has the word mother in it. Or even worse, girlfriend's mother. Stay with me, alright? Right, I've got to explain this without being explicit so I don't get taken down. If you didn't understand what I meant by a lovemaking ritual, me and my girlfriend at the time were... And unfortunately, her parents were home. And they could hear everything. They just mind their business and tell us afterwards. No. Her mum decided to come upstairs, knock on the door and go, "What are you two doing?" And the specific point we were at in this ritual was kind of important. How do I show this without being explicit? And I did the worst possible thing at this minute, which was answer her. So all her mum heard was, "Oh, we're watching SpongeBob!" Which technically was the truth, because SpongeBob was on Netflix. And then the roast dinner that followed was really awkward.
5, 6, 7, 8. Be gone, don't make her too strong. We get back, don't let power attack. Be gone, don't make her too strong. Move, you can't be classy if don't make up action.
My most embarrassing period story happened at camp. Here's the story time. So my first summer on staff, I was 18 years old, and fun fact, I had never used a tampon before. They kind of scared me. And so it was our first training week, and we had to take our swim test. The day before the swim test, I got my period, and I had never used a tampon before. So I had mentioned to some of my co-counselors, like, "Hey, I never used a tampon. How do I do this?" So one of them took me to the fleshies. Her name was Nugget. And I went in with the tampon. She was cheering me on from the outside, and I tried to put it in, and it definitely didn't go right. It felt super uncomfortable, and it kind of hurt. It just was not a good experience. So I came back into our dining hall where the rest of the staff was, and they all looked at me because they all knew that I was putting in a tampon for the first time. I didn't tell them that I was putting in a tampon for the first time, but they all knew. And they were like, "How'd it go, Olaf?" And I was like, "It's not in there, right?" So we go to the pool, and I decide to try again. And I'm gonna need a part 2. I'm so sorry.
That's the guard.
I want to know, what is your most embarrassing story? Because, bitch, I guarantee you it is not top mine. So basically, I was on the way to the hospital with my mother because my grandpa was dying. And I looked at my mom and she looked real sad. So I was like, "Hey, Mom, you want to see a magic trick? Because, you know, I wanted to make her happy." And she's like, "Okay, what's the magic trick?" And I was like, I can get my pee-pee hard whenever I want it to. Bitch! So that's what I did! I proceeded to get a boner. Then show my mother! That was the magic trick! Looking back on this situation, probably like 10 years later, I literally want to die! Because I literally showed my mother my pee-pee hard on the way to the hospital where her father was dying! My heart was in a good place. I was just trying to make her happy. I didn't know what it was back then, so
I guarantee you've never heard a more embarrassing story than this one. It's a female. Tell me your most embarrassing moment. So I was 16 and at my boyfriend's house because his parents were home and I was bored. We thought it'd be a good idea to have a bath together and we were in the bath cuddling when his parents came home suddenly. I was going to leave out the window, but my clothes were in his room. He walked out of the bathroom to go get them, and his brother ran up the stairs and came bursting into the bathroom and started peeing. He didn't notice me until he had already finished because I sunk underneath the water. He started freaking out when he eventually saw me, and his mom and dad both came up and saw me with no clothes in their bath. They didn't know I was dating their older son, and he acted like he'd never seen me before when he came into the bathroom. The worst part is he refused to give me back my clothes. And he kept saying he didn't know where they were or who I was. Luckily, his parents let me dry off and gave me some clothes. They thought I was crazy and they refused to let me walk home alone. So I told them a random address to drop me, but they insisted on walking me to the door and speaking to my parents. That's the worst.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was someone so pleasant about that place.
That was awful.
Just be like, oh my god, Crollo so hard. And then this is Crollo.
Out the blue, I got fucking on my mind. If you ain't got good dick, then don't waste my time. Get hit from the back, ass fat, I'm getting fine. You know why? I got fucking on my mind.
Sorry, bro, I almost forgot. Alright, good night, bro.